Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. They hide the corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretons too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness, aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention, educate.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people, search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretons too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the
There and fabricate that. unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
So my relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, he is a friend of ours.
All right, hey, good night. Don't panic. Don't panic. I'm here with you. I am here with you. Good night and welcome to Straight Up. What's going on in your neck of the woods? I noticed folks are saying share the live. Of course, hey, we're going to be here with you. We're going to tell you things that would be able to guide you properly and how to expose the corrupt PPP regime. That is what this is about, right? Exposing these vagabonds who have cheated their way back into office. And then forget about this whole thing that they're talking about, but 5 more year pandemic, it's nonsense. That's what is happening. They just don't know to govern. It's all about corruption. Don't let anybody tell you any other thing, right? Just read between the lines. Guyana is different. In Guyana, the culture is different. The PPP dominates and they want to control. That is what they are about. Do not be fooled. Now, people are already talking. They won back their time. They won back. I don't know. I'm on tonight. Some people weren't expecting me to be on, but I'm on tonight. And good night and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benchop. It's the 8th day of September. Oh, yeah, the 8th day. But we have business to take care of, political business to take care of. Any other thing we can deal with after. So to begin with, you guys saw who are going to be the 12 parliamentarians for APNU? Who are likely to be the 12 persons? Now, I don't know, but we will find out about this hopefully soon. But I hope that the 12 persons who are going to be the MPs, look, notice I'm not bothered about MPs or any other place. That's it, because, it's like, for me, we got to battle two people in parliament who just do not give a rat's what about the people. It's a fact. That's what it is. Some of you bums may raise, but it is okay. So now, hey, what is happening in your neck of the woods, guys? What's happening? Now, I notice some people are just spreading, rumors about my age. 68, 69, 74, 82, 83. It is what it is. We can discuss that later on. But right now, we got business to take care of. And while I appreciate the birthday greetings and all these sort of things, I'm here for business. That's what I'm here for. Your business, the people's business, to talk about that. Now, let's talk about the 12 persons who are going to be going into parliament. We need 12 strong people, 12 dedicated people. We don't need individuals who are just going to be pomposetting themselves in there and hoping that it's going to be just a pension plan, right? You go in there because of a pension plan, because you're looking for a pension. I hope that's not the case, because sometimes if you listen to some of these folks, you listen not just on the opposition side, but on these vagabonds on the PPP side as well, right? But hey, it is what it is. But I hope it's not going to be a situation where people's bumps are going to raise and they are going to say that they should have been in parliament and why this person got into parliament. I'm talking about APNU people, right? I'm not concerned about anybody else. Trust me. I'm just not concerned about anybody else going into parliament. Just APNU. Whoever else go, if doggy goes, right? But it is what it is. But and Jacqueline Johnson, I think she has a point. She says warriors indeed. And more than just warriors, you need people who are going to stand up for you guys in parliament. Some might start to bicker and say, who just come and why this person come first? Why this person is in parliament? Look, you need some strong, competent people in parliament. That is what you guys need. That is what we're looking for. And that's exactly what should happen. 12 persons in parliament, 12 jockeys for those horses in parliament. That is what it should be. I don't know if Emma has an answer for that, but Emma's here with me. She, Emma always wants to make sure that her dad is doing a great job. And here she is. Emma is in studio with us. Yeah. As we continue here now, 12 horses. Who are going to be those individuals? I don't know, but I've said this before, and this was in a group. I've said it before. You know what I mean? I have said this before. That's all. I have said it before, that whoever is going to do it, then I don't know. But lots and lots of problems. Lots and lots of problems. Lots and lots of problems. That's it. So I don't know. So let me see here. Look, one of the guys that I think should be there is Saiku Andrews. He's the proprietor of Andrews Supermarket. I really and honestly do feel that he should be there. I don't know who else is your pick, but we're not. I just thought that I mentioned that quickly. And as we move on, we have other stuff to discuss right here on 107.1 FM. Guess what's happening? You guys heard of this story, Lola Dahl, and Lola Dahl is also known as Lolita Callender. Lolita Callender, that's her real name, and she was shot 8 times. 8 times she was shot. just hours after, or maybe before, Irfan Ali was sworn in. Is that what it is? Irfan Ali sworn in. And so you have a sense of what direction the country is going to be, right? You already know that. You have a sense as to what is going to go. I don't know what beef or who would want to hire someone to walk up to this young lady and pull the trigger about 8 times. 8 times. Of course, you don't want her alive. That was an execution attempt. That is exactly what it was. An execution attempt to kill her, to murder her. That is what it's about in Guyana. And then you will have some of those Pakus in the PPP, on the PPP side. They probably would love, they'll probably laugh and, whatever. But this is unacceptable. So we hear, according to the news, this guy who's set to be a drug lord. That's according to U.S. law enforcement agencies, and they have him on the radar. He is just one who is on the radar. He was recently sanctioned, and you guys should be familiar. He was recently sanctioned. His name is Paul Dabby Jr. And these are guys, when you talk about them, and there are others like him, their bumps raised, they get soft, and so things happen. Now, I don't know whether he is guilty of this here, but what we do know is that the police issued a wanted bulletin for him. And as expected, they issued a wanted bulletin. And my information is they went to his house before the wanted bulletin was issued, spoke with him. Now, according to a source, spoke with him, left, and then issued the wanted bulletin. And you can read between the lines what's going to happen here. Now, usually they have 48 or 72 hours to hold someone. And if they have no evidence, absolutely no evidence, they'll have to let the individual go. Now, we know how the police force operate. We know once there's someone connected to them, then they're going to make it look as though they're doing their job, when in fact they're not. We saw it with dozens of murders in that country. And a lot of those murders are connected to drug lords, connected to people who are connected to the PPP and so forth. And so the police force just make it appear that they're doing their job, when in fact they are not doing their job. And so this guy, who is wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies, he was recently sanctioned along with others, and we know who those others are. A senior police member, a police officer of the Guyana Police Force, was also sanctioned. Another guy by the name of Randolph Duncan was also sanctioned, and a known character in Guyana by the name of Mark Cromwell, known as D-Man, connected to the PPP regime, possibly all of them. And guess what? They were sanctioned. And now, surprisingly, though, the PPP, the police force, the PPP controlled police force, decided that they are going to issue a wanted bulletin for this guy, again, who was sanctioned by OFAC. Now, they said his name is Paul Dabby Jr., last known address out there, 127 Degar Park, Georgetown. Offense, attempted murder, on whom committed Lolita Callender, also known as Lola Doll. Date of offense on the 6th, that is Saturday last, and that's it. Texas Square, in front of her house. Now, this guy turned himself in today in the company of his lawyer, as expected. It's the routine, it's the normal thing in Guyana. And so quickly walk in there with his lawyer and to say, first of all, this is what's going to happen, guys. This is what's going to happen. He's going to give a whereabout. He's going to have individuals to say, well, at the time of the incident, he was at X, Y, or Z place. Now, you don't expect these guys to go on hits by themselves. I don't know if he has ever gone on a hit by himself. I don't know, or with others. I don't know. All I'm saying is that he is wanted. for the attempted murder of Lola Dahl. He turned himself in the company of his lawyer. They are probably questioning him. I don't know if he's in the lockups, or I don't know if he's sitting on the crime chief couch or in the commissioner of police office sleeping on a nice sponge bed. I don't know. And so all we're hearing is that he turned himself in today. We don't know whether he was released. We just don't know at all. But what I'm going to say to you guys is by Wednesday, he is out of police custody. They are going to say that they have asked him to surrender his passport and that he has to return to CID headquarters maybe once every Friday. That is what they're going to do. Aren't you guys tired of the same old script? The same old script. No evidence, nothing. They're just pacifying you guys right now. I'd be surprised if they claim that they have evidence or anyone confessed to this crime, because if any one of you saw the video, you would realize that the individual who did it obviously did it with a new gun. And that is what happens usually. You get a new gun, you do whatever you have to do, and then you throw the gun away. So there's no trace, there's no shell casing, there's nothing, a new gun. And the attempted assassin, if you notice what happened, when he returned to his motorcycle, guess what? He accidentally fired more shots at his own motorcycle. So much so that it took at least a minute to 2 minutes before he got it to start and rode away. So anyways, I know that those are pieces that the Guyana Police Force would be able to put together. And we are also told that they have a suspect. The suspect is no stranger to the police. In fact, in 2019, there was indeed a murder somewhere up in Eccles, and he and others were arrested and subsequently charged. Guess what? This guy Thomas, Saeed Roger Thomas, guess what? A serving member of the Guyana Police Force didn't turn up, didn't want to give evidence. And guess what happened? If you were a member of the Guyana Police Force and you don't turn up to give to be a witness, and guess what's going to happen? The case will just go down the drain. But we are told that they have this guy in custody as a suspect. Now, it's for the police to release his name and to say whether he is still in custody or not, or to release some sort of information to say whether Paul Darby Jr. is still in police custody. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And so they continue, the Guyana Police Force, they continue to do what is necessary to protect the corrupt PPP regime. But watch this case closely, though. Watch it closely. Do you think it's going to go anywhere? Do you think the corrupt government of Guyana, or the corrupt police force, do you think they want to solve this crime? I doubt that. I'd be surprised if they solve this crime. The truth of the matter is they do not want to solve this crime at all. They just do not want to solve the crime. So do not be fooled at all. Well, we wish her a speedy recovery, Lola Dahl, right here on 107.1 FM. What else is there that you guys want us to talk about on this beautiful September 8th, Monday night? What else is there to discuss? I've been watching some of your comments and the names that some of you have mentioned with regards to who should fill these 12 seats in Parliament for APNU. Who should fill these 12 seats? I've read some of the names that you guys were giving out. Okay, fair enough. Let me see. I agree with some of them, but then again, some are saying Ganesh, Sharad, Christopher. I don't know who's Christopher, and if it's I don't know, Christopher who, Jaretta, Flu. Yeah, I think Nima Flu Best should return to Parliament. Nima Flu Bess should return to Parliament. Saiku Andrews, that's the businessman there at Andrews Supermarket. I'm just looking at some of the other names that you guys have in mind. Some of the other names you guys have in mind. So let me see here. Yep, I'm just looking at some of the other names. You can call some names as well. Somebody's asking how many seats win party. I'm not focused with win. Trust me, I'm not really, with those folks. Sorry. I'm just not focused with those people for obvious reasons. I do think that Guyana needs stronger opposition and stronger opposition. And yep. So I'm looking at some of the names you mentioned: Dexter Todd, David Hines, and others, Kadaki. I'm watching at some of the names that you guys are mentioning, but I'm sure that very soon, you guys will be able to get the names of those individuals, and the APNU, together as a coalition, they will decide on who goes into Parliament. But my position is they should be strong people, strong fighters in Parliament, not to occupy space or to just basically say that they are in Parliament for Parliament's sake. So we'll see some of the names. I don't know all of those people on the list. I just don't, to be honest with you. I don't know all the people. But I'm sure that they are going to have a mixture of everyone. But even though it's going to be a mixture, I do hope that it's strong individuals, fighters, not individuals who just show up there during budget and just get a couple of minutes and talk, and that's it. You need fighters. You need individuals who not only will talk up in Parliament, but will talk up on the ground as well. Go out there and represent their constituency. It's just got to happen. All right. Good night again to all of you. What else we can talk about? This is something that caught my attention, and this is from credible source. It's saying here, Irfan Ali promises anti-corruption unit and asset disclosure. Now, I don't know whether to laugh or whether to cry or whatever, but the hypocrisy, it's just way too blatant. Now, what anti-corruption? The most corrupt government they have, the most corrupt government they have right now. And they're talking about what? They're talking about anti-corruption unit. They've got to be kidding. Anti-corruption unit. Just imagine that, right? Anti-corruption unit. Anti-corruption unit. Could you imagine? The PPP is talking about anti-corruption unit. I don't know. What sort of anti-corruption unit? The anti-corruption unit that they should be talking about, the anti-corruption unit that they should be talking about right now is charity, of course, begins at home, because we know that they are the most corrupt party in the history of Guyana. That is exactly what's happening. The most corrupt party in the history of Guyana. But yet they are so brazen enough to talk about asset disclosure. When will Irfan Ali disclose his assets? I don't know. This is a guy who was charged 19 fraud charges, and of course, they're going to say it's political, of course. But when I see these things, I just have to laugh. I just have to laugh about it. I don't know how some of you guys feel about this here. Irfan Ali is talking about anti-corruption unit. Who is going to head the anti-corruption unit? Can somebody say who is really going to head that unit? Is Dharam Lal going to head it? Is Kwame going to head it? Who is going to be the head of that unit? These guys are a bunch of jokers, a pack of jokers. That is what they are. An asset disclosure? Do you think Irfan Ali is going to disclose his assets? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I doubt that he's going to disclose his asset. He might disclose his asset, but he is not going to disclose his assets, right? Do you think Barrett Jack Davis is going to disclose his billions of dollars? Do you think he's going to disclose his bank accounts in China? Are they going to do that? Is Irfan Ali going to disclose the acres upon acres of lands that he has around the country? Is he going to disclose investments that he possibly has in various companies? You think he's going to be doing that? Do you think any corrupt minister of the PPP regime will disclose their assets? Do you think they're going to tell you that they got assets in their families' names, friends' names, and cronies' names and these things? Do you think they're going to do that? Of course they're not going to do it. Now, remember, what they do have is a commissioner of information. Now, the commissioner of information is there in order to, if any information is requested by any member of the public, the commissioner of information, and that office, that one-man office, where he's being paid over $1 million+ every single month. His name is Charles Ramson Sr. You go to Charles Ramson Sr. and ask him for any piece of information. He's not going to give you anything. They're not going to give you any information. I don't think there's any evidence that over the past 5 years that Charles Ramson Sr. gave any piece of information requested by the opposition. He's not going to do it. He has never done that. So since the evidence is there that they put these individuals who are basically there to protect their interests. Now, if Irfan Ali is to have a real task force to deal with corruption, an anti-corruption unit headed by independent individuals, then we can say that he is serious about corruption in Guyana. So that all of the ministers can be investigated, all of their bank accounts declared, and so forth. They're not going to do it because these folks in the PPP got into office to get rich. Many of them got into office with nothing. They probably barely got 5,000 Guyana dollars in their bank account. Some of them never had a bank account before. Some of them never had a bicycle before. Now they own the most expensive vehicles, some of the most expensive vehicles in Guyana. And that is what's happening. Some of them gave properties, they put properties in their sisters' names, their brothers' names, the mommy name, the daddy name, the poor name, the Aja name, the Aji name, and that is what they do. So Irfan Ali is not serious about an anti-corruption unit. He's just talking so that it can look good, that he's going to tackle corruption. Now, here is what. If Irfan Ali is serious about tackling corruption, then let him start with the police force. Do you think he's going to do that? Do you think he's going to want to tackle corruption in the Guyana police force? Do you think he's going to want to weed out the bad cops, most of whom are connected to the PPP regime? He's not going to do that. Do you think he's going to have these guys, the crime chief and the commissioner of police, do you think he's going to ask them to take a polygraph test, just as what happened under the Granger's administration? When most of these guys failed their polygraph test. And the polygraph test, simple. Have you ever taken a bribe? Are you connected to drug lords? And all these different things. Most of those guys who did that lie detector test, they failed it. And some of those guys, if not all of them, who failed it are in top positions right now in the Guyana police force. Could you believe it? Seriously, could you guys believe it? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. So if Irfan Ali is serious about tackling corruption, and we all know he's not. We all know that he's not, right? He's not. Don't be fooled. He's not. Then Rhonda Lane is correct. He also has GCOM to go after with corruption. So not only members of his own cabinet, not only members of his own party, not only members of parliament, all of them on the government side, so to speak. Those are the people that he has to go around to investigate. Is he going to do it? No, he's not going to do it, because all of them are one family, so to speak. And so, as Donna Wallace has said, it's jokey business. That is exactly what it is. It is jokey business. Nothing more, nothing less. And so while he's at that, is he going to investigate his friends and cronies who are close to the PPP regime, who are still smuggling gold out of Guyana? Is he going to investigate those business places? No. You know why? Because many of them gave millions upon millions of campaign donations to the PPP regime. So they are not going to be investigated. So when you read about Irfan Ali promising to have an anti-corruption unit and an asset disclosure, it's not going to happen. Not under the PPP regime. Because since they've been in office, not a single minister of the PPP regime has ever been fired for corruption, has ever been taken to task for corruption. You know why? Because it starts from the top, from the highest level of government. It starts right there, corruption. And you know, it trickles down to the bottom, because monkey see, y'all know the rest, right? Monkey see, monkey do, as we say in Guyana. Monkey see, monkey do. So it's corruption upon corruption upon corruption. And they are going to get even more blatant with their corruption. In this second term, they're going to want to thief even more. They're going to double the amount. And here's how they're going to double the amount. They have already started to say that they want to develop. They want to develop the country more. I don't know, a couple of roads, broken roads, damaged roads, incomplete roads, and all these things. I don't know, but those are the things that they describe as develop. So they're going to double up the money, and the more they double up the money, the more money they get to thief. And that is what it's about, thieving and thieving and thieving. And when they steal all of your monies, guess what? They jump over now and they give a little cash. What is it? The cash grant. They're going to give a little cash grant, $100,000 cash grant. You know, look, it's and heading to the Christmas. Just watch what they're going to do with the cash grants. Watch what they're going to do with the joint services. They are going to reward the joint services come around Christmas time. Just watch what they are going to do. Wait until the dust settles in the next couple of, maybe 72 hours or by Monday. Just watch what they're going to do. They're going to go back with this cash grant stuff. They're going to find the money from somewhere to steal it. And they are going to target a certain group of individuals and say 100,000 cash grant. It is basically a reward for a questionable elections, a reward for questionable elections. And that's exactly what they will do. If you're now joining us, hey, guess what? Good night. My name is Mark Benja, and welcome to Straight Up. Corruption in Guyana. That is what's happening. Now, hey, next year's budget, watch out. Check out for the budget. The bigger the budget, the more money they get to thief. The smaller the budget, there's nothing there to steal. And when you guys think, and I think I saw former Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan, with us. Good night, Mr. Jordan. The bigger the budget should mean positive things for the country, for you taxpayers. But with a corrupt government, the bigger the budget, the more money they will steal from you. And so when the PPP, when they come out and they say they pass a budget of 1.3 or 1.2 trillion dollars, guess what? It's about stealing, because their bank accounts will get bigger and they will sport more like places like the Palm Court and these places, because you know that's where they spend your money. So this time around, these vagabonds are going to come around and say to you, $1.5 trillion budget. Watch out for that. $1.5 trillion budget. And 6 months, less than 6 months after that, they're going to go back again. They are going to go back for another maybe 40 billion, whatever, because that is how they live. They're like vampires. They're like old eggs. They suck the blood out of the nation. And that is what they have done for the past 5 years. That is what they did for 23 years before the coalition took over from 2015 to 2020, when Guyana was able to breathe again, from 2015 to 2020. But now Guyana kicking bricks. Guyanese are kicking bricks, because nothing is for the small man except crumbs, and except a $500,000 contract given to some folks out and maybe in Agricola or wherever to clean trenches, to clean drains, or to pick up garbage around the streets. That is what they do. That is what they continue to do. And so you guys, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled at all. Do not be fooled. As Emma is saying, do not be fooled.
I said do.
Okay, good. Thank you, Emma.
I said do feel.
Yeah. So do not be fooled, guys. Do not be fooled. So when they talk about this this unit, this anti-corruption unit, they're not serious about it, my friends. They are just not serious about it. They're going back in there to thief more. Thief, thief, thief. They're a pack of thieves. And that is why you need an opposition to fight these people. It is my view that Guyana doesn't have a real opposition. They just do not have a real opposition. And you guys are going to see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not an opposition that's really care about you. It's basically to position and defend and protect themselves. Now, if I was able to smuggle gold or smuggle something and I'm a billionaire upon billionaire, you think I go on them chump change in Parliament? Opposition leader's salary, member of Parliament salary? No, I wouldn't want that. But I'm going to make an announcement that I'm giving back to. I don't want a salary. Of course, you wouldn't want a salary. Hey, if you guys don't read between the lines what's happening there in Guyana right now, then I don't know. That is why you've got to go back to base. You've got to go back to your party. And if you're a PNC or whatever it is, you've got to go back to your party. You got to build your base. You got to build your party. And you got to be able to get strong people in Parliament to represent your interest. And it's not that they're going to have a voice in Parliament. They could talk. They could shout in Parliament, yeah, and expose the corrupt PPP regime. But whatever they say there wouldn't, the PPP, it's like throwing water on ducks back. But you, the people there in Guyana, you get that opportunity to at least hear from the legitimate set of parliamentarians there. You know what I mean, right? Because you've got to go back to your constituency. You got to work the ground. You can't let people penetrate your constituencies again, and you sit back and thinking that they're really there to help you. But by the time you catch yourself, it was too late. Cat eat your dinner. That is what happened to you guys in the PNC, right? It was too late. Y'all were treating people with kids' gloves and thinking that they were there to take care of the PPP when they were there to just basically snatch and go in and penetrate your support base. Hey, PNC, as we would say, hey, you guys wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee before it's too late. Anyways, what else is happening in your neck of the woods? Talk to us right here on 107.1 FM. Talk to us. Talk to us. Now, Sangur and Guru Suru, they're walking around. We see them. They're walking around, but it's just a matter of time before they get back to their themselves, their old selves. They can't change. They just can't change. Just like others, you expect others to change overnight and go into parliament and represent they can't change too, right? They just can't change too. But let me go back into a point I wanted to make earlier, and this has to do with corruption. Irfan Ali talks about corruption, a corrupt anti-corruption unit. But no word, absolutely no word about this senior police officer. This senior police officer who was sanctioned by OFAC. I bet they're not going to say a word about this officer. Whatever happened to him? Is he still being paid with taxpayers' monies? Is he still being paid? And that's the question. But they're not going to want to answer that question. What about this Manilal, is it his name? This officer, this commander who tried to divert attention in little Adriana Young's case, when he showed the family members and friends of Adriana Young that, look, she left some red car or whatever color car. She left. Go home. Whatever happened to this guy? He was sent on administrative leave. Now, if Irfan Ali is really, really serious about corruption, then tackle corruption right underneath your nose, Irfan Ali, right in your office, right at the office of the president. Tackle corruption there. Speaking of corruption, what about this woman who was sanctioned? She's a sanctioned woman too. So you want to turn to the Mohammeds and say they're sanctioned people. All right, fair enough. They're sanctioned people. But this woman was sanctioned with them. But yet she is treated as though she's some sort of an angel. She's sanctioned, OFAC sanctioned for corruption and all manner of things. But yet Irfan Ali and Jack Deere, they continue to shield her. And we were told that she's being paid with your tax dollars. So if she continues to be paid with your tax dollars, they're shielding her, then it's hypocritical of Jack Deere and Irfan them to talk about a corruption unit, an anti-corruption unit. Then when you have these people who are still there and you're shielding them, not a single word about this woman, but you want to say that the Mohammeds are sanctioned people and Azruddin is a sanctioned, okay, good, sanctioned man. But what about sanctioned woman? Why is it sanctioned woman is not being treated the same way sanctioned man Azruddin is being treated? Or Azruddin's sanction is different from this woman's sanction? No. It is not different at all. Sanctioned woman. What is happening with sanctioned woman? Why is the PPP so quiet on sanctioned woman? Now let's move away from sanctioned woman. Let's move away, right away from sanctioned woman. Let's go to these guys who are sanctioned. Traffickers use Guyana as a cocaine transshipment. Traffickers, 4 of them. The police force is silent. Jack Deere is silent. Mark Phillips is silent. Kanu head James Singh is silent. Irfan Ali is silent. The head of the Guyana police force is silent. What has happened to Hemnat Saw, senior superintendent of the Guyana police force, who was sanctioned by OFAC? For what? Not for selling potato or aloo. I bet a lot of you guys probably don't know what is aloo. But he was sanctioned for what? Trafficking cocaine. Irfan Ali's government is silent about this. The police force is silent about this. Now the question is there an investigation into this policeman, Hemnat Saw? Or is it that they're just going to say, it's months now, that they sent him on administrative or what? Is he on leave? Is he still being paid? Is he kicked off the Guyana police force? What's the situation with this guy, Hemnat Saw? They need to let the public know. And if Irfan Ali is really serious about having an anti-corruption unit, then he needs to speak out now on what's the situation with Hemnat and why Hemnat is still a serving member of the Guyana police force. Of course, they're going to come and say they're still waiting for evidence. They still want evidence. Well, we heard the same thing with the Mohammeds. They were waiting for evidence, even though they had all of the evidence, but because the Mohammeds, they decided now that they can't be friends any longer. So you went after the Mohammeds them, but you're not going after these people who are no different than the Mohammeds them. So you're protecting these guys now, right? Is that what it is? You're protecting them. Here, Hemnat saw Irfan Ali, what's happening with him? Randolph Duncan, said to be a businessman. What's going on with him? Paul Dabby Jr., who's now wanted, well, he surrendered for attempted murder of Lola Dahl. And then you have a known suspect who is said to be so close to the PPP, Mark Cromwell, also known as Demon. And you know his connection to the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. You see his connections? You see their connections to the PPP, right? It's right there. And so the reason why the PPP, Irfan Ali and Jack Dale and these guys aren't saying anything about these guys, these sanctioned guys, these OFAC sanctioned guys, it is because they're all connected to the PPP regime. That is what it is about. And Guyana has no good to get under the PPP, you know. Despite some folks seem to think that it's peaceful, it's going to be peace. No. The PPP doesn't want unity. The PPP doesn't want peace. And those of you who are on the ground in Guyana, those of you who have on-the-ground experience in Guyana, who understand the culture, would know the PPP doesn't want any peace or unity in Guyana. It is not going to happen under the corrupt PPP regime. Now let's get back to your comments. Let me see what's going through your minds and what's happening in the comment section. Let's see some of the sensible comments that we look at. We're not looking at bombs raised and emotions and so forth. Not tonight. Not tonight. Hawk out of here. Not tonight. Not tonight. Emotional. Sometimes we've got to do better. And now that the corrupt PPP is in office, you guys got to do better. Forget about the emotions, especially some of the men, you know. The bombs raised quick. Let's see what Mr. Winston Jordan is saying. At least he says Lawrence Stephen, more like 6,600 per seat. FGM with 4,000 plus voters got one seat on the greatest remainder formula. Yeah, so the greatest remainder formula, it goes to in this case, FGM, Forward Guyana Movement. And Mr. Winston Jordan is correct. Maybe sometime tomorrow night you can come and talk about that greatest remainder formula, where a lot of people just don't understand that. And so to explain it, because that is why Schumann's party, along with that woman, some doctor, something Kisun, who didn't want to come off of that seat, they basically got crumbs. They didn't deserve a seat. They didn't get sufficient votes for a seat. But because of that, what Mr. Winston Jordan wrote about there, the greatest remainder formula, that is what it is about. And that's why they got in with that one seat. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods as we prepare to wind down here? Well, you saw your friend, what's her name? Roxanne George. She was happy. She was swearing in a guy that claimed to have won the elections, even though it was done under questionable circumstances. People are still of the view that the elections were rigged. And I want you guys to hear me out. Hear me out on this, please.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that.
A quick one for you, and hear me out on this one here, right? And now, here is why I'm of the view, and I maintain that. Don't let people tell you otherwise. The elections wasn't free and fair. I maintain that it was rigged. How on earth would the PPP know, even before the results were officially made, and maybe one day before the elections, how they knew they were going to get between 35 and 36 seats? And the remainder of the seats will be divided between APNU and what's it? The Blue Party. How did the PPP know that? They knew that because they had the results. They knew what the results were going to be, and they knew that they were going to give themselves either 35 or 36 seats. They knew it. So if they knew it and they were peddling that one day or even half a day, the voting started at 6 in the morning, and by midday, the PPP already knew that they were going to get 36 seats or 35 seats. How? So if they knew that, now we didn't go to IFLAT University. If the PPP knew that, so what can you tell me? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out. They knew exactly what it was all about. And the whole thing about the elections was just basically, let it go to the polls. There's a video where some folks out in Alboiston area, they were taking off names, they were adding names, and they were hiding spreadsheets or whatever it is. All manner of things they were doing. But yet there are people who want to tell you that the elections were free and fair when the evidence shows otherwise. Yet there are people who tell you that the elections weren't rigged. You've got to be kidding me. Right, Afraz, Usman? You've got to be kidding me. Just like you got the prepaid meters. You know, you pay prepaid meters, prepaid card. The elections was a prepaid election. It was rigged before it started. Done rigged. Already knew. All they had to do, and here is what happened. It was deliberate because the PPP and Irfan and Jack Dale, they know that they're not going to take Azruddin serious in Parliament. Just watch what's going to. It's going to become a mockery. They know that they cannot take him seriously in Parliament. They know that it's going to be a mockery. They know that it's not going to be a serious opposition. And so they decided now, in splitting the opposition votes, they decided to just steal the seats them from the APNU, and give it to Win. You can't tell me. I'm telling you guys, because how else? I don't want to be repetitive. How else would the PPP know before the start of elections, before the first vote was cast? How would they know that they got 36 seats? How? There are people in PPP chat groups that were talking about 36 seats. There are others who knew about 36 seats. And the votes didn't even start counting. The PPP knew that. I saw it. I saw the numbers. Remember, even before they declared, even by midday of September 1st, I think a post was made on my personal page about the 35, 36, and whatever. Because they knew. And those who helped them at GCOM and so forth, they all knew. Why do you think they rushed to promote policemen and women? They didn't rush to promote them because they like them or they think that they're hard workers. They were basically protecting themselves all around. For 23 years, they never cared about those policemen and women. For the 5 years that they've been in there, from 2020 to now, they never cared. But closer to elections time, they're running to tell you guys now that they so care about the police force and they want to promote individuals within the Guyana police force. No. So they were covering their base. They were trying to ensure that they get people to protect them. The Guyana Defense Force, the same thing. And then they rushed to the judiciary to ensure that they have a chancellor who is not going to delay the swearing-in ceremony. So they decided to remove her, tell her to go take vacation. And so they could get their acting chancellor in the name of Roxanne George. And then they have their acting chief justice in the name of Navendra Singh. Navendra Singh is known to be a supporter of the PPP regime. He doesn't hide it. He just doesn't hide it at all. And so for the next few years or so, you guys shouldn't give up. You need real fighters. You need real fighters. And fighting the PPP doesn't mean you have to embrace them because they have nothing to offer you. We already know. Those of us who know them, we already know what they are. You can't approach them like some pastor and prayers and expect them to do things for your community. No, they're not going to do it. You got to stand up and ensure that you expose them so that there will be equitable distribution of the nation's wealth. Are they going to do that? No, they're not. Do you have a strong opposition that could fight them to do that? No. Do you have a voice in parliament? No. They have 6 seats. They stole extra seats in order to give themselves that majority. If you guys weren't hearing before, you heard they're going to win Region 4. They cheat the votes in Region 4. They rigged Region 4. And they claim that they got the most votes in Region 4. They rigged the votes in Region 10 and put the two sides, APNU and those blue people, to fight for the seats. So a lot of things. If you guys can't read between the lines, I know. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Let me check some of your comments and I'm gone. I'm going to check some of your comments and I'm out of here. It's September 8th. I am out of here. It's September 8th. And you guys know what that is, right? So let me just say thank you all. I've read, but not all of your messages, birthday wishes and so forth, but I've read most of it. And if I haven't responded to you as well, let me just take this time out to say thank you all so much. It's been a good day. I've made the best of it. It's been a good day. It's not over yet, but I will continue to thank you guys. And for those who are celebrating their birthdays as well, or who did yesterday or who are going to be doing it tomorrow, whatever, happy birthday to all of you. Roxanne Haywood's birthday is tomorrow. I bet she's probably not as young as I am. Yep, sorry about that, guys. Always full of myself. Yep. Sparkling will say justice for Adriana. Yeah, justice for Adriana. Thank you all so much. I'm just gonna go and relax. Probably find something else to do. But thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it, and the messages, tremendous. All of you. Thank you. Thank you. And don't worry, some people who tell you that I'm 72. I'm 25, I'm 30, and I'm 65, I'm 69, I'm 81, 82. Don't worry with them, guys. I am just a simple middle-aged guy. I'm out of here. God bless you all. I love you. And to my 95-year-old friend who's back from Guyana, she voted. Thank you so much. One of the first set of people who called me this morning was that 94-year-old lady. She's probably watching. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate it. And to all of you, again, thank you. God bless you. See you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. And to Lola Dal, speedy recovery. Continue to pray for her. And those two young ladies from Balwant Singh Hospital, Acid, one of them, it's so sad just to watch how her face is so far disfigured. Yeah, I don't know how can people be so evil I know it's not just in Guyana, but we're talking about Guyana. Guyana has never been like this. Evil government, evil leaders, evil things happen. I'm out of here. Continue to pray for your country. God bless.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. And while you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear in the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.